for your interest in our school and the programs. So I'll give a very brief introduction to the school, and then I will pass over to the program directors for the various programs that you may be interested in to give more details and to answer specific questions. So to give you a bit of an introduction to the school, and the university, UCD is Ireland's largest university, I think the largest English language speaking university in the European Union. The School of Chemical and Bioprocess Engineering is the first largest and highest ranked chemical engineering school in Ireland. We're celebrating our 70th anniversary this year, actually on October 16th with a gala ball, one thing that I've been organising. Over that 70-year period, the school has been really instrumental in the development of the chemical and pharmaceutical sectors in Ireland. And so our graduates have gone on to many positions in sectors from as diverse from oil and gas, the food sector, energy sector, startup ecosystem, but also finance, investing, public service, etc. So there's a broad skill base that is developed in our programs. The school's research is primarily based around two nexes. One would be pharmaceutical and biopharmaceutical engineering, and the other would be centered around the sustainability materials and water nexus. So improve sustainable energy storage, using that energy to improve water purification and also to improve sustainability around processes. So this would be something that contributes significantly to our thought programs and very much informs the nature and content that we have included. We have significant partnerships across Ireland and internationally. And also we have had a significant number of successful startup companies, particularly for a school of our size. And this entrepreneurial and research spirit is something that we try and instill in our students throughout the programs. The programs will be gone through individually by the directors at this point. And I would just suggest that maybe this ethos does permeate across these different disciplines, despite the diverse nature of the field of chemical engineering, which fortunately affords our graduates many opportunities across a number of sectors. So with that very brief intro, I will pass over to Laura to introduce our first speaker today.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Stephen. So our first program director we have up is Veronica Safionis, who is our program director for our one-year program in chemical engineering.
Thank you, Laura, and thanks everybody for joining this webinar. As Laura said, I'm the program director for 218. This program is a full-time program. It's only 1 year and it's worth of 90 credits. So how we have structured the program is that you take modules during autumn and spring, and in the summer we have a research project module. So in the autumn, you can have a variety of selection of modules based on advanced chemical engineering with specific focus in energy, sustainability, and also pharmaceutical and biopharmaceutical modules. Then we have the spring modules, and at the end we have the summer research project. With the summer research project, you will do hands-on research with your allocated supervisor here at UCD, where you can deepen your understanding in advanced chemical engineering, and you can select different kind of topics according to what is provided at the time of the project. So you can select topics in energy, you can select topics in sustainability, and also in pharmaceutical and biopharmaceutical. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have for this particular program. We have a very broad focus on chemical engineering, but a very focused as well scope in advanced chemical engineering with specific applications. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much, Veronica. Really appreciate that. So next up we have is Dr. Colin Clark, who is the program director for our program in biopharmaceutical, the full-time program.
Hi everyone, thanks Laura. I think everything's set up. Can you see my PowerPoint okay?
Yep. It's showing in presenter mode, that's the only thing.
Oh, Sorry, it's the screens. How's that?
There we go. Yeah, perfect.
Brilliant. Hi, everyone. Just like to welcome you to the webinar. Thanks very much for the interest in our school. So I am the program director for the MNJSC in Biopharmaceutical Engineering. It's a long-running program in the school. I think it's about 20 years old now. The focus is on the manufacturing processes that enable us to make really complicated medicines. So just so everybody is aware, I think we've all probably taken aspirin or paracetamol. You can see it on the left-hand side. So that's a chemical molecule. It's very small, 21 atoms. And on the right-hand side is a newer type of modality. So a recombinant protein, and specifically a bispecific antibody. So you can see it's a much more complicated structure. It's about 25,000 atoms. So incredibly complex, really difficult to make. And you have to be able to make it with the confidence to be able to deliver that medicine to a patient safely and for that medicine to work. And a simple way of thinking about this is that aspirin's a bit like a racing bike, whereas a bispecific antibody is more akin to a Formula One car. So in our course, we prepare students to work in the industry in a variety of different roles, from upstream to downstream, fill finish, and into QC. Our graduates are immersed in an ecosystem in Ireland which punches way above its weight for a small country. So at the moment, we have the top 10 pharma or biopharma companies are based here. We have about 85 companies in total. We have 22 manufacturing facilities, and there's been an incredible investment over the last 10 years in manufacturing facilities. So Ireland has a really good reputation for being able to make these medicines in a safe and highly effective way. Our program is designed to equip graduates with the skills to be able to work in the industry. So Eliana is the part-time program director. I run the full-time program. And really one of the most impressive things about our program is that students get to spend time at somewhere called the National Institute for Bioprocessing Research and Training. And that's an institute that was set up by the Irish government. It's a small-scale simulated GMP manufacturing facility. It trains people from third level education in Ireland all year. And our students have, for many years, gone through the NIBRT experience. We have students from all over the world, students from China, India, Mexico, and Romania, as well as Ireland. And really the course is designed to be suitable for graduates from science and engineering. So we will take students from both disciplines. As I said, NIBRT is a centerpiece of the program. So it's a 6,500 square meter facility. It opened about 15 years ago. It has full upstream capability at different scales. It also has single use, where people are moving from stainless steel bioreactors into plastics. It also has downstream for purifying products, and then on to fill finish. We're also equipped with bioanalytics, particularly in mass spectrometry. The course itself is delivered by academics with a broad range of expertise, spanning cell biology, molecular biology, bioprocessing, biopharmaceutical engineering, modelling, and analytical science. 2 NIBRT lecturers deliver modules on the course, one in regulatory science, one in biopharma operations, and we also have industry lecturers who deliver entire modules on the course. So it's really immersed in the industry. People who deliver the courses are familiar with the research side, but also then real world industry applications. The program itself is structured over 3 trimesters. It's a 90 credit program. There are 12 lecture modules, 10 core, which all students do, and then you have the ability to select 2 optional modules. And then we run a capstone project in the summer, so a research project. In the first trimester, we begin by immersing students in NIBRT. And the reason that we do this is that frames the rest of the course. So students are able to get gowned up, they're able to go into the facility, they get a physical sense of what being inside one of these manufacturing facilities is like. They hear about all of the different disciplines that happen within a manufacturing organisation, and then that is designed to set the scene for other courses that come. So students then understand what animal cell culture is all about, how to design a facility, and now also regulatory and analytical science aspects. So we move into spring, students have a much better idea of the upstream parts. We start to focus on things like downstream. We run a data analytics course for biopharma. It's an emerging area. Also things like bioprocess design. And then as we move into the summer, students then start to learn about research methodologies. And then in the spring trimester, students will also choose 2 of the optional modules you can see below. Then we're into the summer. So students will conduct a research project, either in a computational laboratory or an experimental laboratory. They happen in UCD or they happen in NIBRT. So students can go back to NIBRT for the research experience in the summer. And it tends to run over about 3 months. And really that project is specifically designed to equip students with extra advanced skills to help them on to the next stage of their careers. And then when students graduate, they tend to go to a wide variety of different companies. I won't go through all of the ones on the screen, but we will have graduates from the school in many of the companies that you can see there. We have an annual award, the Brendan O'Callaghan Award, and then you can see some information about profiles of recent graduates. Okay, that's all from me. I'm very happy to take any questions that anybody has.
That's great. Thank you so much, Colin. So our next presenter up is Professor Eliana Soto, who, as Colin mentioned, is the program director for the part-time program of this biopharmaceutical engineering program that we have.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And good afternoon, everyone. I'm sorry. I hope you can hear me well. Thank you, Laura, for having me also. And in fact, the part-time master's offers the very same rigorous academic content as the full-time. So you will all engage in subjects spanning upstream and downstream bioprocessing, quality systems, regulatory issues, process analytical technologies, and biopharmaceutical project management. So this means the full spectrum of competences demanded by the industry today. The degree is identical as the full-time, so you'll have 90 credits. You'll be awarded with 90 credits in total, so 30 credits the first year and 60 credits the second year. What differs is the shape of this journey. The part-time route is explicitly designed around working professionals. The classes run every Friday afternoon from 2 to 6 p.m. They are delivered between UCD and NIBRT, as my colleague presented. The students can attend the classes in person or online, but the lectures are not usually recorded. But very important is that the practical labs, for obvious reasons, will have to be in person. They usually take place during March, during these reading week. Also very important is that there is this constraint. The part-time applicants must be working full-time in a pharma or biopharma a company or related sector, and this is a requirement and not an expectation in the near future. So these are the basic differences between questions. Thank you, Laura.
That's great. Thank you so much, Eliana. So our last presenter up is Dr. Jessica Whelan, who is the program director for our professional cert in manufacturing and cell and gene therapy and vaccines.
Perfect. So again, just to echo the other program directors, thanks a million for folks interested in joining the webinar today. As Laura said, I'm the program director for T412, which is a professional certificate focused on the manufacturing of cell and gene therapies and vaccines. It's the newest of our Talk graduate programs within the school. It was first run in 2023. It was developed in order to upskill scientists, engineers, and management in the pharma and biopharma sector to take advantage, I suppose, of the new emerging modalities in the area of cell and gene therapies, also known as advanced therapeutic medicinal products and vaccines. Unlike the other programs, it's a shorter program, so it takes place over 12 weeks during the spring trimester, so that runs from January to April. It comprises of 3 modules, each worth 5 credits. So in this program, you take a module focused on cell therapy technology and processing, another focused on gene therapy and vaccine technologies and processing, and the final module is then focused on GMP manufacturing considerations associated with these newer advanced modalities. Similar to the part-time biopharma masters, all material is delivered between 2 and 6 on a Friday, as it's anticipated that the majority of people undertaking this program are currently working in industry. It's delivered in a blended manner, so there's an option to either attend, up to 100% remotely from home, or to attend in person on the UCD Belfield campus. The program itself is continually assessed, and I've just included a link for more information. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much, Jessica. So we are going to move on now to our Q&A session for the webinar today. So as I said at the start, if you do have questions that you'd like us to get answered today, please feel free to type them in the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen, and we'll get through some of them today. Thank you to our speakers for their great insights. To highlight, if your program does relate specifically to an application that you've made, if you could send myself and Katie an email after the session today, and Katie will pop our email addresses in the chat there so you have them, and just make sure to include your application ID number so we can find you on our system as well. My colleague Katie also popped a link to 2 webinars that are coming up as well related to those who do have an offer. Some informational webinars are coming up, so have a look at those as well. And then I do know a couple of questions were sent in just with the registration of the webinar today, so I might just get through those as other Q&A questions kind of come in. So there was someone just asking in relation to the Veronica, for yourself, for chemical engineering, in relation to the exams and the syllabus. How do exams kind of work within your program? Or is a lot of continuous assessment? Or if you could just highlight that a bit more.
It really depends on the module coordinator and the specific module, but the majority of us in UCD actually follow the continuous assessment path, which means that you may have 1 or 2 assignments during the semester, and then you have a final exam at the end. So you may have a group presentation or an individual assignment, and then the final exam at the end. But if you do go to the website of the master's program, you can see a drop-down menu of all the modules, and you can click on each module and they will tell you exactly how you're going to be assessed for each module. Now, be mindful that these strategies may change in September when module coordinators update their assessment processes, but the majority of the time it's continuous assessment.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Veronica. And then just sticking with yourself as well, how flexible is the curriculum in terms of electives, interdisciplinary courses, or the research projects themselves?
Yes. So we've created a very modular program this year, which is going to start in September. So you're going to have a number of option modules to select from the autumn semester and the spring semester. They're going to be around sustainability and energy and pharma biopharma, and the core modules are going to be focused on advanced chemical engineering modules. So the option modules will be around the themes that we have within the school, and then at the end the final research project, which is over the summer period for 3 months, we give a list of option topics available to the students, and they can avail of which topic they want according to their personal interest.
Perfect. And then we have someone who's starting the Masters in Chemical Engineering this September, Hussein, congratulations and welcome. And he's just saying he wants to make sure that he's prepared for the course as much as possible. Is there any kind of study materials or anything he should be doing in preparation for starting the course in September?
Yeah, so welcome, and I'll be meeting you in September at our introduction week. You don't need to do anything. I would say sit back, relax, and when you come in September, I usually have a session with all students that attend the program, and I will guide them through the whole program and what they need to do and look out for. And if they need anything else, any more support, my door is always open to welcome everybody and support them.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Veronica. And that student was also looking to be put in touch with a current student. So they want to email me after the webinar today. I can see if I can facilitate that for you as well. Katie, there was just a question in relation to, I might pose it to yourself, what scholarship opportunities are available for this particular programs within this particular school and how
Sure.
that works.
Yeah, so there's two really that are most relevant for non-EU students. I'm talking specifically about now. When you apply and you get an offer, you'll automatically be assessed for what's an international student scholarship, commonly referred to as ISS. So you don't need to apply for that. You'll be automatically assessed and it'll appear on your offer letter. Okay. The other one is the Global Excellence Scholarship, and I'll just say right now that unfortunately, if you haven't already applied for it, the deadlines for each region have passed. They are our most competitive scholarships with a value of 50 to 100% off tuition fees. They're the two to be most aware of. There are the Government of Ireland scholarships. Again, we're waiting on results, but hopefully anyone interested has already applied. And I'd always encourage students, if you're non-EU, always look to your own local authorities or local government. Sometimes there are opportunities. And if we have Irish students, you should always look towards SUSI grants.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Katie. And this person didn't specify a particular program they were either applied for or interested in, but I suppose it's applicable for all the programs. In relation to the research topic or the thesis component, how is that selected? Are students appointed a supervisor, or how does that piece work for the programs?
We might ask some of our academics, maybe if you want to turn on your cameras and maybe speak to that.
I'm happy to go first. So,
Thank you.
You're welcome, Katie. As mentioned before, so it really depends on the program director how we do it in the T218 program. We actually, at the start of the academic year, we present a number of topics, and then the student, it's a first come, first serve basis, and the student can select the specific topic which is assigned to a specific supervisor. So they know the research project well in advance of the summer. So.
That's great. Thank you, Veronica. And Colin, you were going to come in there, I think.
Yeah, so everyone. So for the summer project, we do it slightly differently. And the way it works is that in the autumn trimester, early in the autumn trimester, I reach out to other faculty and other researchers in NIBRT. I acquire a cohort of summer projects, and then students will rank those based on their interest. But we don't assign until the results from the autumn trimester are in, and those projects are decided first on preference and then by GPA if there are ties. And the reason for this is that some of the NIBRT projects are particularly competitive. So we're always fair. We always need to be fair to everybody. But by February, everybody has their project assigned on our course. We do it slightly differently.
Great. Thank you so much, Colin. And then there was just a question around the scope for chemical engineers within the pharmaceutical industry in Ireland, and maybe what the landscape like is for students wanting to get into that area with chemical engineering. Veronica, that might be most suitable for yourself, or Jessica.
Or I'm happy to speak to it either. So as Colin had mentioned in his section of the talk, the biopharmaceutical industry is extremely strong in Ireland, and currently for chemical engineers graduating from our programme, over 70% end up going on to further employment as graduates and beyond in the biopharma sector. So there is, I suppose, a lot of opportunity for chemical engineers in that sector, as I suppose evidenced by where our graduates end up.
Great. Thank you so much, Jessica. Really appreciate that. And then there was just, I suppose, the follow on from the question Veronica answered, maybe for Colin yourself. For a beginner in pharmaceutical engineering, what kind of background knowledge would be helpful to study or in advance? If there's any specific textbooks or online courses that you'd recommend to get prepared for this particular program?
I can take that one. So our course is designed for students who come from both science and engineering. So the course is configured for people to come from those two areas. So if you have a good grasp of either topic, the course is suitable for you. In terms of preparation, just like Veronica, we don't suggest reading lists before students come. That the course is designed as well for people to get them up to speed quickly within the particular area.
Great. Perfect. Thank you. I'm sure that'll be a comfort to people, kind of making sure they're prepared. And then I think the last question I have is just in relation to, again, not a program specific, but outside the summer project, is there an opportunity to get involved in ongoing research within the school, or maybe research position, teaching kind of research assistant positions that students at master's level could get involved in?
So I'm happy to answer that one as well. And we have a number of students this year who are research assistants within the laboratories at the school. So there are opportunities.
Yeah, I echo that. Even from our program, we do have students that carry on with research assistant positions, and then they progress to PhD positions as well. So if they're interested to carry on with their studies, there are opportunities to do that as well.
Great, thank you so much. And I think that's all the open questions that I have that were posted at the webinar today and during registration. So I think we'll end the webinar there. So I just want to thank everyone for participating, for asking your questions, for our speakers for the really great insights. And just before we wrap up, just to let you know that if you do have further questions after today or would like additional resources, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. My colleague Katie put her email address and my email address in the chat. And again, the recording from this particular session will be shared on our college YouTube channel and to everyone who registered early next week. So we'll end it there, and thank you and enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye everyone.
Bye everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.